Thank you very much, House Chairperson. I rise on a point of privilege, and I would like to appeal to all members of the House, all of them on both sides. Let's look at our rules and apply them correctly so that we do not degenerate the debate. And I do also wish to ask members that let's be robust but respectful, because the electorate that's looking at us here, I don't think will appreciate that in the exercise of our duty, we actually behave in the manner that they do. So as I say, it's a matter which I'm bringing to you on a point of privilege, because it does not assist the presiding officers when all of us interject without using the rule and sometimes quote wrong rules. And when the presidium rules, we feel bad because we did not use a correct rule in our intervention. I'm just appealing. But also, let's have the decorum of the House. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Montlan.
Can I also rise on a point of privilege? It's in the rules. See, this is why.
Honorable Montlan, I gave you a platform. Please do not address people of why you are standing.
Chair, let me make this point. And I appreciate what the Honorable Speaker said. But I think that the speakers should also apply the rules equally. You know, I rose on this point of privilege in the previous week, and I want to connect with what I want to say just now, where parties were demonized for raising that in a committee, you said the following, but their right to put forward the declaration was undermined. That was not recognized, Chair. Secondly, Chair, you know, some of us who have been called names for the last 10 years. We took it on the chin. Some of the things that are being said here are not even factual. We took it on the chin, Speaker. Okay? For me, somebody can say, hey, you bought toll trains. They're not toll trains. I don't have to respond to that. Okay?
Okay, Honorable Montlan, what is your point of order?
It's the point.
Yes.
It's the point of privilege that I'm making is that it shouldn't be when certain people agree with the decorum, but when certain people are called names, there's nothing to do with the decorum. When somebody raises something against a person, we don't say a member of this house, we don't say, please, you are out of order, bring it through. It must be done by the table. Bring a substantive motion. We allowed it to happen, it proceeds.
Honorable Montlan, please, we need to proceed
talk about
with
the decorum. So the decorum
business of the day.
The decorum
Thank you.
should apply to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Montlan, I don't believe that. No, you can take your seat. Yes. I don't believe that the speaker was raising such because of a certain member saying it to another member. She was looking at the House and how now we are behaving as honorable members. But in that said, it did not need a counter a comment or so. I think as the Speaker of the National Assembly, she is obligated to rise and say when the House now loses its decorum. So there is absolutely nothing about any other member saying something to another member. I don't want us to take it in that sense or with that attitude, but I want us to take it as the speaker has addressed it. And even if she is seated in this seat, she would always say, it is not the first time that she would address such a matter. So it can't be that now because she's addressing it and we take it with that attitude of saying because it was another member raising it on another member. So can we please proceed with the business of the House? Honorable Ocamp, you can take the podium.
Thank you, Honourable House Chairperson. Good evening, Mr. President. Honourable members, dear South Africans, just over a year ago, Mr. President, you stood at the Union buildings to take your oath of office for a second time. Despite the winter, the sun shone brightly over Pretoria as the will of the people was heeded. In a world where freedom is under attack, our republic conducted a free, fair and credible election, and I think we need to thank ourselves for that. Besides the MK party and those that sit to my left, that does not live in reality, all parties accepted the results of our elections. And there was a peaceful transition to the 7th administration. With the beauty of our democracy, even those that do not live in reality have audience in our courts. Indeed, Mr. President, this coming Friday, South Africa and the world will commemorate Nelson Mandela Day. This Mandela Day bears significance if we reflect on the strength of our democracy. We are truly gifted as a people, living free. There are members of this House who, despite taking an oath to our Constitution, wants to destroy our country. It is fascinating to hear Honourable Slope speak of all that is broken, all the mess the Government of National Unity has inherited, as if he and his party members played no part in that destruction. When you take an oath that you will serve this country and that you will be faithful to the Constitution of this country, it cannot be that the first thing that you do when you come into this parliament is say that you want to squash the Constitution of this country. Shame on you, MK. They refer to themselves as the voice of the voiceless, but in truth, Honourable Deputy...
Honourable, okay, please take your seat. Honourable Ram.
Thank you, Chair. This member of the DA, representing a party of land thieves.
What is your point of order?
Point of order, it says the MK has claimed to squash the Constitution. Where have we ever said that? We have never said that. So this member must withdraw and apologize.
Yeah.
But he said the MK. I didn't hear him saying the MK party. So you don't know which MK he's speaking about. He just said the MK. So, and it was not directed at an individual. Continue, Honourable Ockham.
The only MK.
Thank you, Honourable
Yeah, now,
Deputy.
Chairperson, you are just being out
House
of order.
Chairperson.
Really.
Honourable House Chairperson,
You are being
they
out of
referred-
order. You are inviting us for something that is unprecedented. You are just being out of order, honestly.
Who is this member?
It's Mutubat's chair.
Yeah, but that
Mutubatsi, if you have not been recognized, you do not speak. If you do that again, I will ask IT to remove you.
Remove
Continue,
Mutubat's.
Honourable
Not even
Ockham.
know the rules.
Continue, Honourable Ockham.
So,
Thank
Chair,
you,
it's only
Honourable
me.
House
When others
Chairperson.
do that, you don't call them
The
to
MK
order. If you're
referred to
doing the same, you're not doing the same.
IT, please remove Honourable Mutubatsi. Continue, Honourable Ockham.
Thank you, Honourable House Chairperson. They refer to themselves as the voice of the voiceless, but in truth, they are not only unfit to govern, they are a danger to our democracy and our Constitution. Honourable Deputy Minister Morolong, I don't know whether you spoke here on behalf of the Ramaphosa or the Mashatile faction within the ANC, but what I can tell you is that your maths are as bad as those that did the census. To have support for a census that had an undercount of 31% is not good. To the EFF that are still shouting and chanting, kill the Boer, kill the farmer. We know why you are doing that. You are doing that because you've got absolutely no substance in anything else that you say. We heard that again when Honourable Matehase spoke here this evening. Honourable Matehase spoke of criminal syndicates. It was very strange that he did not mention the criminal syndicate of those that looted its bank. Honourable Peterson, I know from the PA, I know that the PA is a smaller party and you do not get a lot of time to speak here. But if you take all the time that you get to address the DA, we are feeling kind of flattered. But I would advise you to be your own party, as the Democratic Alliance has decided that we will when we enter the
Chairperson,
government of national
Chairperson.
unity.
Honorable Okemp, can you please take your seat? Honorable Mwali?
Chairperson, the member from ANC.
Honorable Mwali?
Remember,
Honorable
ANC.
members, can we please, honorable members? Yes, Honorable Mwali?
Remember, ANC chairperson, ifike ivule imic ikhulume la ngaphandle kokuthi uyi-recognize kodwa ukwazi uyi-keep. And our member uma enza the same uyamkhipha chairperson. Ngiyacela ukuthi ube fair.
What is your point of order, honorable members? Because Honorable Okemp is on the podium speaking and
No,
which
chairperson, just
member?
removed our member because you are saying they are speaking without being recognized. But
Your
the member
authority
from
is being
ANC
undermined,
has been-
No,
Chairperson.
honorable
Look at
members,
the member,
Honorable
Chair.
Lithie,
Look at the
Honorable
member, Chair. He's doing
Lithie,
it
I'm
right now.
questioning you. Honorable Mwali, I did not take out the honorable member first. I cautioned the honorable member not to open the mic without being recognized. And he did that the second time when I had cautioned them that I will alert IT to remove him. So I did not just do that. And I've just cautioned Honorable Lithie not to open the mic and speak without being recognized. So can we please proceed with the business of the day?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable President, the Democratic Alliance again maintains our commitment to the government of national unity, in which we share a partnership. Our partnership is not about individual party interests, but rather what is in the best interest of all South Africans. We and all of us must always put our country first and not ask what is in the best interest of our parties, but what is in the best interest of this country. The main objective of this Parliament, Honourable President, must be to tangibly grow the economy and create jobs. With 8.2 million South Africans unemployed, it is our moral responsibility to improve their lives, and it can be done. We must work together to achieve that. The past year has admittedly not been easy, but it has been worth it. We are standing here today through turbulent times, but we are here. We are making good progress for all South Africans. There will, of course, be obstacles, but that is governing. It is much harder, Honourable President, to build something lasting than it is to break. The breakers to my left have shown that to us. They've shown that to us again today. We, the builders, must stand together and build towards a better country for everybody. We are making progress. We are making
Honorable
progress.
Okemp, can you please take your seat? Honorable member?
Thank you, Chair. This honorable member wants me to sing, really, kill the bull.
Honorable
kill
member,
the
what are you raising on?
No, that is the feeling that is giving me, that I want to sing that song. Kill the bull, kill
No,
the
honorable member. Honorable Okemp, please proceed.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. Honourable President, we've seen improvements in various sectors. We've seen them at Home Affairs. We heard the Deputy Minister speak about that today. We saw that agriculture, that is a sector of our economy that can create a lot of jobs, was the fastest growing sector ministry in our sectors throughout South Africa in the first quarter of this year. We need to grow those sectors. We need to heed the words of the Minister of Finance when he gave us 1 trillion rand for infrastructure development, and the Minister of Infrastructure and Development to really implement that towards the benefit of all South Africans. It can create jobs and it can allow us to improve this country. Honourable President, there is much more to be done. Our economy is not growing fast enough. We still live with horrific violence, with women and children, violence on our farms that we need to curb. We also face the painful reality that some children in our country are going to bed hungry at night. No child in South Africa must sleep on an empty stomach, and we've got to work together to fight that. Mr. President, we also need to do more to tackle corruption and gain the people's trust. After the damage that was done by those who are now in the MK party, we must show South Africans through our deeds that we take wrongdoing seriously. Corruption and dishonesty cannot and should not be tolerated. It is a prestigious honor to serve South Africans, and no public official must be tainted. Honourable President, commissions have delivered great reports in the past, but commissions are as good as their consequences. We must see to it that these commissions that you have now established over the last time must have consequences. Honourable President, the time for working together has arrived. You mentioned trees standing together. The Democratic Alliance is one of those trees that will stand together with everybody that want to build this country. Every day of this government and every day to come, the DA will fight for our country. We look forward to continuing
Honorable Ockham,
in
can you
building
please
South
take your
Africa.
seat? Honorable Lucia.
Thank you very much. This one sounds like, thank you very much. This one sounds like it's in the faction of Andrew Whitfield, who the president
Honorable
must fire
Lucia.
again. Can you take your question?
Honorable Ockham, can you take a question?
Yeah. The president must fire. Okay,
I've
that one
got
again.
7 seconds left. I
Okay,
would like
he will
No.
not take a question. He's got
President,
7
fire
seconds
Andrew
left.
again. So this is,
Honourable Chairperson, the Democratic Alliance have committed ourselves to building this country. We are committed to work together, and we accept the same, expect the same of everybody. Thank you, Honourable President. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Chief Whip of the Opposition.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, House Chair, Mr. President, honourable members. Having listened to the debates today leaves me with a lot of questions. It has become apparent that we need a strong man to drive the South African ship. We have also listened to the flip-flopping DA begging for blue lights. The questions that we have today, Mr. President, are very profound. We have listened to your cabinet ministers who clearly have been through the Rupert conveyor belt of changed men. What we are asking is, what are we going to do with such poor material after the GNU ship has sunk? They are not fit for purpose. They have no political education, and they are not fit to govern. This whole administration brings to mind the words of the Iron Lady, Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, when she observed of the government of her day in 1985, and it's befitting today, sir. There are many idiots in whose hands our nation's fate and progress has been placed, and I rest my case. Since the start of your presidency, the cheap talks on fighting corruption, ethical, capable leadership, say we are exhausted. Our spirits are deflated. We've lost trust in you. Speaker, the integrity of this president is in question. Let's start with today. President says there's a national dialogue which is accepted by all partners. The next breath, the chief whip comes and says Steenhuisen is against it. President gives us some intertwined GNU trees in Limpopo and Eastern Cape. In the next breath, the chief whip says the descendants of white supremacy. Which script are you reading from? Which script should South Africa read from? In January 2018 in Nongoma, say you viewed land expropriation without compensation as a critical legislative mechanism. And I quote, you said we can make this country a Garden of Eden, close quote. Instead, you turned this government ship into a GNU Noah's Ark with all sorts of animals that are welcome. Close. In all honesty, Speaker, as we sit here today, we don't even know anymore what's on the table of the GNU. Are we moving forward as a country or sliding backward? It's a crisis. Political crisis, criminality, corruption has characterized this presidency. The lingering question in our minds is that, sir, knowing that you did not have the burden of breaking ground or shedding blood in establishing the ANC, or even the wisdom of transitioning it into the new South Africa, you were simply called upon to steward a ship already on course to change the lives of our people. Sir, you had it all to cruise into the new dawn. You were the person clothed with such an important task. Did you discharge this trust truthfully? With all good intentions, have you contributed towards the functioning and betterment of our country and your organization, given the many honors that it has conferred on you as a billionaire and a president today? Kublablantiso iwele ikhombo as a nation. Undlovu said it well. Akukhombo ra mina, bantekela n'wansati, bantekela xidakwa. Look at that Napoleon complex over there. He's trying very hard to compensate, but his party leader is towering tall miles ahead of their chief whip in the blue there. He thinks it's cute to come here every time airing dirty linen of the GNU, so obsessed with the MK party. But we understand why everybody's obsessed with President Zuma. He made all of you here. He gave all of you opportunities to be in government. Unfortunately, you became changed men. While others remain fully excited to be finally governing with white supremacy. Sir, the moral dilemma some of your people in your party, in your cabinet, in your caucus have, they find it impossible to do this GNU thing without being false to their own deep convictions and betraying those who put their trust in them. Sir, President Nelson Mandela said at the OAU summit in June 1994, there is something wrong in how we govern ourselves, and I quote, and it must be said that the fault is not in our stars that we are ill-governed. The fault is in ourselves, I close quote. It's you, sir, who make us as a people question ourselves whether we believe in our capacity for self-government. Clearly, you do not have a government capable of governing. You are merely nursing white fears of black domination, which is manifesting. It's manifesting itself at every decision corner in your bloated cabinet. And that is why, sir, when EFF Plus comes here and talks about legacy, they should not be throwing stones. These are the descendants of hate and apartheid architects, white supremacy. And yes, it's not only MK votes that were stolen. 26 parties' votes were stolen. I was one of those parties. Our country, which once stood as a beacon of hope for the whole continent, a miracle in the global south, yet your reign, sir, has cast it into the shadows. Perhaps it's time to take a leaf from the MK. We change leaders. We change leaders. The reason you are sitting at 40% and sliding down rapidly as a party is because you still have your stinking dirty underwear. Change it. That's why people are running away from you, starting with the presidency. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy to have a stinking dirty underwear. You can't change it because you are waiting for a hijacked electoral conference like what happened with CR17. As we honor legacy of Nelson Mandela, and I hope someday soon, I'm gonna quote, we'll refrain to behave as though we do not believe that coexistence among African brethren is at all possible. And the African people can be organized by Africans for Africans, with everybody who owes his loyalty only to Africa and who is prepared to accept the democratic rule of an African majority. I close quote. You have betrayed that statement of Nelson Mandela. Honestly, House Chair, the prosperity of this nation is not something that we can base our hopes on for the future of our children. No nation can survive the tax burden criminality so high placed upon its people. The presidential vote should be about taking decisive action to protect the integrity of our nation, our heritage as a people, our justice system, and ensure accountability for those who have betrayed the public trust. As we speak here, House Chair, we are tempted to even ask, let one of your 3 ministers of police be the minister of police for women, to protect women, GBV, people with disabilities, the vulnerable, the elderly, because frankly, everything else is a joke. Say 11 million South Africans remain unemployed. Our youth are starving. They're on drugs. Teenage pregnancy is on a rampant just to obtain a grant. The wealth of this country is sitting in the hands of your GNU partners. You would expect that the highest office of this land, where you preside, you yourself having tasted wealth, will be laser focused on addressing this inequality and poverty crisis facing our people. Yet, you come here with your partners and you're defending your
Honorable
constitution.
Chief of the Opposition, your time has expired.
We reject this budget. Thank you.